question around lawyers in general. I don't know if this is a stupid question, but do they care about what a client wants? Or do they care more about their partnership structure and their fees and their billing hours and everything else? And is it an endemic culture there now? That's heretical?
Well, Julie,
a bit of a heresy.
Yeah. As a buyer, what's your perception? Do they care, or are they just going through the motions?
I think that there are some that do, yes. I think that there are some, and this goes to even firms in the 1.0 model, there are some firms with which I deal who I believe them when they talk about wanting to be a partnership with our business and to do things better and to do what we need. And then there are others that I think are paying lip service, and then there are others who are probably more honest who don't even bother. So I think it's just a spectrum. You go to some for some things and others for others.
I think from my point of view, I'm lucky enough to work all around the world with lawyers, different sizes of firms, different in-house teams, and lawyers in the UK are some of the best anyway. I think they're amazingly dedicated, hard-working. I think they do have a very strong ethical code, which by and large they adhere to. I'm much less bothered about the ethics of hourly rates. I'm more concerned about the balance of risk with hourly rates, and I think it shifts the risk if you move away from hourly rates to one which is much more balanced, and that's a good thing from the client perspective, and it should be a good thing from the efficiency of the law firm as well. No, I think lawyers do care. I think the fact that the model is now looking creaky is not the thought of generations coming through in many ways. It's an absence of leadership. And the problem with a lot of law firms is that when you get into a leadership position, you've worked for maybe 15 years, 20 years to get to that point, and you think, okay, now's my time to make some money. Why would you then at that point say, now we're going to rip it all up and start again and take a huge risk? So you need the new entrants to come in and shake it up a little bit.
I agree. Underneath my question is a bit more, is the idea around incentives and structure of incentives and what sort of behaviour it drives. And so I'm not really saying that you've got insensitive kind of lawyers or insensitive profession. I'm more interested in the incentives.
It drives the wrong behaviour. It undoubtedly drives the wrong behaviour. And that's, just to maybe not contradict Mitch, but just to sort of nuance a point he made about law firms maybe looking and saying there's no need to change. I think lawyers generally look at the market and say, blimey, we need to change. What they're not sure is how to do it. Right. And then they haven't got the skills to do it necessarily, they haven't got the guidance to do it, they haven't got the resource to do it in the way that they currently think about their business model today. And again, that needs pioneers to come in and shake it up so that there's a bit of a trail. Sure. But there will be casualties in that, clearly. Yeah.
But that's not surprising, because historically we promote the technical expert. It's the best lawyer with the highest billable hours who becomes the partner, not necessarily the person who has either the people management or the business strategy or business management skills. So I think that's where the ABS model actually does really bring something into it.
I think, Paul, just to your point, my view in speaking to some of the people on the Canadian side anyway is that you're right. They do recognize that there's some change that needs to be done, but they lack the courage more, and as well as the management skills, because I've heard time and time again, like I said in the speech, is as a managing partner, I don't want to be the person that blew the firm up. I want to make sure the ship kept going. I didn't want to sink the ship, and so that's my role. If I make any changes, I risk blowing up the firm. So it's to me, it is courage. It's like, I don't want to be the person to sink the ship. So that locks the whole process and keep going down the same road.
Okay, so John?